welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. It means the world to me. If you do like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. I just hit 300 subscribers and that is so huge. I want to thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't, please consider. We have a lot of fun here. I like to do lots of drugstore. I do like to change my makeup seasonally, so if you like to see some super spring looks, they'll be on this channel. So please subscribe, give this movie a thumbs up, and also make sure to ring that notification bell so you can be notified anytime I do upload a video. Today what I'm going to do is Made by Mitchell review. I am so excited to try out these products for you guys. I've been using them a couple times, and I saw that Mitchell was coming out with a brand. I was so excited because I really enjoy his aesthetic and his whole type of beauty makeup application. I do think he's an incredibly talented artist, and at such a young age, I am so in awe of him. I think it's so cool. I saw the products that he came out, and I really wanted to try them. They are a bit more expensive, and because they are from the UK, I do have to pay quite a high shipping rate, which is kind of irritating. So I didn't buy the products. I kind of waited, seeing him do couple sales on his site, so I was kind of waiting until I felt the need to do it, and then he had a sale about a couple weeks ago. I finally decided to pick up some of his products, so I went ahead and picked up the Feet on the Ground eyeshadow palette. And I also bought one of his blushes. This is in Posey Rosey. What incredibly beautiful products. When I first saw these, I was just struck in. I love liquid cream. Any type of blush, I'm all over it. So I definitely wanted to pick up one of these, and the colors in this palette just sang to my soul. My type of colors. Honestly, if I was an eyeshadow palette, it would be this eyeshadow palette. If you know me, I love camo. I love wearing camo, so I love this little pouch it comes in. I think it's so cool, and the colors inside are my absolute most favorite colors to wear on my eyeshadows. Let's go ahead and go over the products I bought. I'll do swatches of all of them, give you the prices, and then we'll continue on with a little tutorial of this eyeshadow look. So the eyeshadow palette comes in this really cool satchel. You can open it up, and then the eyeshadow is just right inside of it. This is a really cool satchel. It's very large. You can put a ton of products in here, so that is really cool that it came with that. So this palette does retail for $61, which is, like I said, on the more high-end range, but because I did get it on sale, I did get it for $37. They do the sale quite often where you're getting it 40% off, I believe. So I do think for the sale price, it's definitely worth it, and honestly, I would pay full price for this palette because it did perform really well. So it comes in a little cardboard box. I love the design on all of this, just the glossy, glowy, kind of metallic camo look. I think that's really cool. This is a pressed pigment palette, so you do have to work with this a little bit different than normal eyeshadow palettes. I kind of go over a little bit in the tutorial. You definitely want to pack on the color and then blend in afterwards. You don't really want to blend as you're applying, because you will kind of get some patchiness with these colors because they are super pigmented. So as long as you kind of go slow, pile on a little bit at a time, pack it on the lid, and then blend from there, you are good to go. These aren't quite the most user-friendly palettes because they are pressed pigment, but being pressed pigment palettes, they have incredible intense pigment, very vivid, very bright, very blendable, but you do have to just be a little bit more careful. So here is the box. You pull the palette out from it, and it has the exact same design on the palette. So you open it up, and it does have a little plastic protector. It has a giant mirror, which I love. I love that it has such a giant mirror because I can see my entire face and I can do my entire look with this palette. So there are the colors of this palette. Let me tell you how gorgeous these are. These are my ideal, most perfect eyeshadow tones ever. I love greens and yellows. I love neutrals. I love more cool tones. You can get such a huge variety of eyeshadow looks using this palette. You can get extremely neutral, everyday type looks. You can get very vivid purple or green looks. This Venom color right here is probably my favorite color in this palette. Not only the look of it and the color of it, it blends so incredibly well. Just the way you can apply it to your eyes and it just blends out. Those colors are really hard to formulate, and a lot of the time when I see a color like that in a palette, I know it's probably not going to perform as good as the other colors in the palette, but it performs so well. So let's zoom you in, go over the names of the eyeshadows, and I'll do some swatches. There are all the colors. So we'll start right here. It's Salt Bae, Limeade, Bored in the House, Angelina, Bless You, Our Child, Chameleon, Chewelp, Groundbreaking, Mama Garden, Earth Child, Descendant, Tiger Lily, Clay Baby, A Mood, Bittersweet, Off-Roading, Fool's Gold, Venom, Amore, Grass, Ain't, Greener, Chemtrail. So there's all those colors. So I'm going to go ahead and give you an up close look of these colors. They're just absolutely incredible and I love them. They're mostly matte, and then you have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are only 6 shimmers in this palette, which I really like because I love to pile on all the different matte colors, layer it up the way I want it, and then just apply 1 or 2 glitters on the lid or the inner corner. So I love this palette and how it is separated from the glitters, the mattes, and there are way more mattes than glitters. That's my favorite type of palette, when there are an abundance of mattes and just a few beautiful, incredible metallic-y shimmers. So there's the first row of eyeshadows. So we have Salt Bae, we have Limeade, we have Bored in the House. Down here is that Angelina color, and up here is Bless You. So I will say about the metallics, they're very sheer. They're more like toppers, but I love that because you can use the mattes to lay down the initial color and then top them off with these really gorgeous metallics. There's the next row of colors. Those are all mattes. So we have Our Child, Chameleon, Chwilp, Ground, and then up there is Breaking. Those are really great neutral kind of transition colors. Alright, so there is the next row of colors. We have Clay Baby, we have Tiger Lily, we have Decent, we have Earth Child, and then over here is Mama's Garden. That is such a gorgeous, really beautiful metallic green. Alright, so there is row number 4. We have Venom, Fool's Gold. This one is Off-Roading. This is Bittersweet, and this beautiful purple is A Mood. Here's the last row. We have Chemtrail, we have Greener, we have Ain't, and then Grass is right here, and then this is Amore right there. It's not a super pigmented black, but it's definitely black you can work with. So there's all the details, the swatches, and the names of the eyeshadow palette. Let's go on to the blush. One thing I did forget to mention about the eyeshadow palette, because it is pressed pigments do naturally just stain more. So if you can see on my hand, I definitely have some stainage just from swatching those colors. I have some stained fingertips from swatching those colors. I probably will have some stainage on my eyelids. So that's another thing to expect when using any type of pressed pigments, is that they do end up staining your lids or your hands or your fingers a lot more for sure. It doesn't irritate me, and I've never had a reaction from any type of pigment, but definitely something to note, so you can expect to have a little bit of stainage so it doesn't freak you out. Here's a blush, like I said earlier, it's in Posey Rosey, a beautiful pink. So I will go ahead and give you a nice swatch of that. So there is that. This is a really incredible formula. So it does come off liquid, then as you blend it out, it does turn it into a powder matte finish. The one thing to definitely note about this product is that it does dry really fast. So you want to apply just a little bit at a time. You want to apply it and then blend it out, and you don't want to mess with it too much because it does get a little splotchy if you don't blend it out fast enough. So this normally retails for $14, which isn't really all that bad. I don't think that's a terrible price for what it is. There are a lot of cream blushes that are a lot more expensive than this. I did get it on sale. I would definitely say wait for a sale. He's had, you know, he's a newer brand. He's only been out for maybe a year. He's had 3 or 4 sales. I would definitely say wait till he has a sale. He seems to have that a lot, and then pick some of these up. I really enjoy this. I do have this on my lips and on my cheeks. So next I'm going to do my demo. If you'd like to see how I got this eyeshadow look, you'd like to see the blush applied to my cheeks and to my lips, then just keep watching. Okay, so I have you zoomed up. I'm going to go ahead and start with my eyeshadow look. I am going to go ahead and pick up this palette. It's quite large, so it's a little harder to handle, but it has an incredible mirror on it, so I can use my mirror and be able to see really up close and see everything I'm trying to do. I'm going to go ahead and start with this really beautiful Clay Baby color right here. Taking a little pointed crease brush, and I'm going to just apply that up into my crease area. So these are pressed pigments, so you definitely want to be a little more careful when applying them. You want to do a lot more tapping motions just to tap the pigment into place and then blend it out from there. But this color is super pigmented, and it's a really beautiful kind of murky yellow color. Alright, so there's that color in the crease. I was able to blend it out really seamlessly, super easy. Didn't have any issues with that whatsoever, and it's a really pretty pigmented color. I'm going to go into Greener, and I'm going to put that on the back half of my lid all the way up to my crease. And with this palette, you could definitely get a little bit more wearable kind of everyday looks, but because there are so many beautiful greens, and green is my favorite color of eyeshadow, I definitely wanted to play up with the greens. I'm putting it on the brush, and I'm kind of just packing it on and then blending it out. I'm going to go ahead and take a smaller blending brush and I'm going to go into Venom. I'm going to put that on the outer V of my eye. So right here. This is such a beautiful color and I'm really shocked by the way it performs. Colors like this normally don't perform all that well. They're a little patchy, but this one blends out just completely seamlessly. I'm going to take the other blending brush. I'm going to go into Clay Baby and kind of just blend this out a little bit. And mesh all of those colors together really well. I'm going to go into this Bittersweet. I'm going to pack that onto the middle of my lid. And that is such a really pigmented color. It's a little bit more chalky just because it is so light and because it is a pressed pigment. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. I'm actually going to apply that all the way from the inner corner to the middle of my lid. The bigger crease brush, I'm going to go in with the greener and blend that out. Then I'm going to go into Clay Baby. Blend that out. Next, I'm going to go into Fool's Gold. Take my finger and I'm going to go ahead and apply that to the lid. Next, I'm going into Grass and I'm going to apply that to the lid, but just more like the middle to the back of my lid. I just want to use as many of these colors as possible. And these shimmers feel super silky. Next, I'm taking that Bless You color and I'm going to put that on the inner corner of my eye, just to add a bit more light. So there is the eyes. I'm going to clean it up a little bit. I'll be right back. Also from Mitchell's collection, I bought one of his blushers. This is in Rosey Posey. It's a really cool component, a very bright yellow lid. I love the component. I love the name Blusher. I think that's so cute. So here is the color. It's a very bright pink. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch it on my hand. This is a liquid to powder blush. It's a very beautiful wearable color. I'll blend it out right there. It blends really well. It goes from a liquid feeling to a powder. And it just blends in with the skin so well. It does say that you can apply this on top of powder or underneath powder. So what I'm going to do and how I like to apply this is just put a couple dots right there. It is quite pigmented. So and then I just blend it out with a dual fiber brush. So I'm going to go ahead and just blend that out. This is definitely going to be a little too bright for this type of look, but I don't really care. This is the only color I got. I really want to show you how this performs. You go blend it out. It does blend out pretty good, but the only problem is it does dry super fast, so you have to be really careful. I almost took too long blending that out, and you can see it gets a little patchy, so I'm going to apply just a tiny bit more. Just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply it on the other side just the exact same way, a couple taps, and then blend it in super quick. Stipple it and then blend it. You can use the fingers for this formula. You can use a sponge. You could use a denser brush. You could use, like I'm using, a dual fiber brush. This is a really versatile formula, so you can apply it just in so many different ways. And then if you ever find yourself applying too much blush, just tap it out with your foundation sponge or your foundation brush. I really love this blush. It is a really beautiful matte, long wear, high pigmented. It's not going to go away. It's not going to melt off your face. This is a really great formula. If you have kind of oilier skin, this will also be a really great blush for the summer because it's not going to kind of melt off your face even through sweat and everything else, and it's such a beautiful blush. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and apply the rest of my face, my lips, my eyes, everything else, and then I will be right back. Alright, so I finished my face, I finished my eyes, put some mascara on. I love how this look turned out. So next I'm going to do my lips. I can use the Colourpop Ashton lip liner on my lips, and then you can actually use that blusher formula on your lips as well, so I figured I would just do that. That makes for a really beautiful natural pink look. I like how that turned out. I love me a monochromatic look. I love using the same color on my cheeks as my eyes or as my lips. So I really like this product, and the fact that it can be used on your eyes, your cheeks, or your lips, I think that's really unique and really cool. So here is the finished look. I really loved how it turned out. So let's go ahead and talk about the products that I did try. So the Blusher, I absolutely love this formula. I think it is a really, really unique formula because it does dry down to a perfectly matte finish. It just looks so seamless on the skin. You do have to be careful with this one though. If you apply it and you don't blend it out fast enough, it can dry. I do have a tiny bit of splotchiness right there just because I didn't blend it out quite fast enough. But if you, as long as you apply a little bit and you blend one side at a time, this is a really incredible long wear product. I love that it is formulated for the lips, the eyes, or the cheeks. I think that's a really cool, versatile product. I know he is coming out with more colors, and I'm so excited for that. I see bronzing products maybe, and I cannot wait. I will definitely be buying more of the blushers and other products in the formula as well because I do absolutely love this formula. I definitely think it is worth it. And the eyeshadow palette, green neutrals and yellows and kind of those more murkier colors, those are my absolute favorite eyeshadow colors ever. I think they're super flattering for my skin tone, really looks good on my blue eyes. I love those tones. And then I knew Mitchell was going to come out with an incredible formula. The mattes are super pigmented. They are definitely more of a pressed pigment, so you do have to be careful because they are quite pigmented that it just creates the most seamless look. I really love the metallics on my lid. I think they look gorgeous. I love that the palette is majority matte. There's a lot more mattes than shimmers. There's only about 4 shimmers, which I really love because I love just layering all the different mattes I want and then applying 1 or 2 shimmers, and that is all I need, and I think it is a beautiful palette. Yes, it's a little bit more on the pricier side, but because it is so big, it has so many colors, I think it's definitely worth it, and I do want to get the other one, the Head in the Clouds palette. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it was helpful. I definitely suggest these products. I think they're great, and I cannot wait to see what else he comes out with his brand. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye, guys.